Hello and a very good morning to all News 9 viewers. I'm Neha Bhan. Let's take a look at some of the top stories of this hour. We begin by telling you what's been happening at the Israel-Hamas war front.
The following content may contain visuals that are disturbing, graphic, or sensitive in nature. Viewer discretion is advised. This material is intended for mature audiences and may not be suitable for all viewers. Please exercise caution while watching, and if you find such content distressing, we recommend discontinuing viewing. This disclaimer is provided to ensure awareness and to prioritize viewer well-being.
The war between Israel and Hamas has entered its 73rd day. Let's get you the latest update right on your screen. There, Israel has said that it has discovered biggest Hamas tunnel in Gaza. The IDF has claims to have taken operational control over parts of Khan Yunis. Israeli strikes have killed 90 Gazans in Jabalia refugee camp. That is what the Gaza Health Ministry has said. 70% of Gazans killed in war are women and children. That is what the health ministry has said. Now, 478 trucks sent to the Rafah crossing in Egypt. The Israel has said the brother of Israeli hostage mistakenly killed by IDF says army murdered him. US to press Israel to define war milestones. That is the latest coming in from Israel-Hamas war on day 73. Israeli forces fighting Hamas in Gaza claim to have uncovered an unusually large concrete and iron-girded tunnel designed to carry carloads of terrorists from Gaza right up to the border. Here's a full report.
Israeli forces battling Hamas said they had uncovered an unusually large concrete and iron-girded tunnel at the Gaza-Israel border designed to transport carloads of militant fighters. Chief Israeli military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said the tunnel was 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles long, stretching from Gaza City, once the heart of Hamas governance and now a devastated combat zone, to the Erez crossing at the Israeli border.
Without demolishing the tunnel project of Hamas, we cannot demolish Hamas.
Raising or disabling hundreds of kilometers of underground passages and bunkers is among the aims of the Israeli offensive. The military showed reporters the exit point of the tunnel, located just 100 meters south of the checkpoint at Erez. The Erez crossing is one of the sites Hamas overran on October 7th, killing 1,200 Israelis and taking 240 others hostage. Hagari said it was the biggest tunnel Israeli forces have found near the border, without specifying whether it was used by Hamas for the October 7th attack. Generally, the tunnels shown to the media by the group or by the Israeli military after their discovery have been narrow and low, designed for single-file movement of gunmen on foot. The tunnel shown by Hagari had shafts plunging vertically downward that he said suggested it was part of a wider network. Hamas did not respond to a Reuters request for comment on the Israeli account. Since the October 7th attack, Israel has besieged Gaza and laid much of the Palestinian enclave to waste. Around 19,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza health officials, with thousands more suspected buried in the rubble of Israeli airstrikes.
On Sunday, the IDF released a video claiming to show Mohammed Sinwar, the brother of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, traveling in a car through a massive 4-kilometer-long and 50-meter deep strategic level tunnel near the Erez crossing in Gaza. Israeli forces engaged in combat with Hamas in Gaza asserted that they uncovered the biggest Hamas tunnel near Gaza. Chief Military Spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, as you just saw a while back showing the tunnel to the media, described it as Sinwar's secret and stated that millions of dollars had been invested in the project. In a silent video, Sinwar can be seen giving instructions to the driver as they travel through the tunnel. Right on your screens, visuals of the same. The Palestinian Health Ministry reported that at least 5 Palestinians were killed on Sunday in an Israeli attack on Tulkarm in the occupied West Bank. 2 individuals were shot dead by Israeli forces on the same day. The Health Ministry added that another Palestinian also died on Sunday after sustaining injuries in an Israeli attack in the West Bank city of Jenin a few days ago. The Israeli military stated that it has been intensifying operations against Palestinian militant groups in the West Bank. On Thursday, Israel confirmed killing more than 10 people it referred to as terrorists in raids in Jenin, where several militant groups have a presence. The Israeli military released footage on Saturday claiming to show its troops assaulting a tunnel shaft occupied by a Palestinian militant. In the video, soldiers can be seen shooting and throwing grenades at an opening in the ground.
תן כאן לפה. תן לשמש! תן לכוחות חדל זורק ריפות!
The Israeli military stated that its forces had killed a militant hiding in the shaft and destroyed the tunnel.
קוד 104 חיובי, אויב ודאי בתוך הפיר, זרקתי רימון, ככל הנראה הושמד, כרגע זורק עוד רימון.
Israel stepped up its bombardment of Gaza overnight and into Sunday after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu argued that the only way to secure the release of hostages was intense military pressure on Hamas. Listen in.
Israel stepped up its bombardment of Gaza overnight and into Sunday, Palestinians said, adding that dozens of people were killed. It comes after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu argued the only way to secure the release of hostages was intense military pressure on Hamas. The attacks also follow Friday talks between Israel's spy chief and the Prime Minister of Qatar, which mediated earlier hostage releases in return for a week-long ceasefire and the freeing of Palestinian prisoners. That's according to a source with knowledge of the matter. Residents and militants say Israeli attacks took place amid fierce fighting the length of the coastal enclave. Communications were also down for a 4th day, making it hard to reach the wounded. Hamas militants say they will not discuss freeing any more of those captured when they attacked southern Israel on October 7th. If Israel continues the war on Gaza, it unleashed in response. With no signs of compromise, violence has intensified. In Khan Yunis, injured Palestinians were rushed in ambulances and on donkey carts to Nasser Hospital after what they say was an Israeli airstrike on the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency's school. Where is safe, says this man, adding he's worried about getting killed while in the hospital. Israeli missile strikes also hit a house, killing at least 24 people and wounding dozens of others in the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza, Hamas Aqsa Radio said, citing the health ministry. Health officials were not available for immediate comment. Israel said it had operated against terrorist targets. Meanwhile, in Tel Aviv, the frustrated families of hostages held in Gaza set up a campsite near Israel's defense ministry. They vowed to stay there until the government secures a deal with Hamas to release their loved ones.
It's important for me to be here today because we need to put more pressure on the government to remind them that the hostage situation must be ended with a deal, and the deal must be right now because we don't have any more time to waste. We cannot wait for them to try to rescue them by with army forces. It needs to be with diplomatic deal, by by a negotiation.
Around 19,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza health officials, and thousands buried in the rubble of Israeli airstrikes since October 7th. Israel says Hamas militants killed 1,200 people and captured 240 hostages in their surprise raid that day.
Elon Lulu Shamriz, an Israeli man who was among 3 hostages mistakenly shot dead by the Israeli army in Gaza, was laid to rest at a funeral in Israel on Sunday.
החל ממשוואות עם 4 נעלמים ועד בעיות אנושיות תיפול ממדרגה ופעם תעלה על מקפצה.
לא למען זה נלחמנו, הפכנו עולם למענך.
That's not what we fought for. We changed the world for you. My child, you were strong, determined, smart. You were a hero. You survived 70 days in hell. I know you felt us all the time, the way we felt you. Another moment, and you were in my arms. We will continue to live for you. We will continue to breathe for you. We will continue to be for you. We have missed you for so long. Sadness has no end. I love you, Mum.
לא תיתן חסידך לראות שחת, תודיעני אורח חיים, סובה שמחות את פניך, נעימות בימינך נצח.
Airstrikes in the Gaza Strip have killed at least 100 people over the last 24 hours as Israel's leadership faces growing international pressure for a ceasefire and calls at home to resume hostage negotiations after the Israeli army shot and killed 3 men kidnapped by Hamas. The health ministry in the Hamas-run Palestinian territory said on Sunday that at least 90 people had been killed by Israeli bombardment in the Jabalia camp in the north, and another 12 had died in bombings in the central city of Deir al-Balah as fighting was reported in several parts of Gaza. 100 people have lost their lives in the last 24 hours due to the Israeli airstrikes in the Gaza Strip. Israel's leadership continues to face growing international pressure for a ceasefire. In fact, the United States also is going to press Israel to define war milestone. It all started on the 7th of October. That's when a deadly assault was carried out against southern Israel by Hamas terrorists. And Israel has been bombarding Gaza ever since and has also intensified its ground offensive, And there, in fact, IDF has claimed that it has taken the operational control over parts of Khan Yunis. And now in the latest, this is what we're getting, that 100 people over the last 24 hours have lost their lives in the Gaza Strip as Israeli airstrikes continue. We slip it a quick break. We'll be right back with lots more on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Currently, the industry is facing a lot of challenges as far as demand is concerned. Basically, the US markets has slowed down because of high inflation.
So obviously, diamonds being a dream product, something which doesn't have a utility value or is seen as a luxury. So that obviously goes off your shopping list. That's the first item that will go off your shopping list, especially in recessionary trends.
That lab-grown diamonds are not mined, and they do away with the entire mining. So they save up on all the environmental damage that is associated with mining, and of course, the mining cost, which is why they're even more affordable.
People that is impacted by all these recessions are the artisans, are the people who work in this industry. right? But I think lab-grown diamond has allowed them to actually use their skills in the same product.
This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News 9+. Download now.
Welcome back. Underworld kingpin Dawood Ibrahim is hospitalized in Karachi, Pakistan, reportedly due to a severe health issue with speculation of poisoning. Despite 2 days in the hospital, there is no official confirmation. Dawood is under strict security at the sole patient on his hospital floor, accessible only to top authorities and close family. Mumbai police are reportedly seeking information from Dawood's relatives Alisha Parker and Sajid Wagle. In January, Hasina Parker's son revealed to the National Investigating Agency that Dawood, after a second marriage, resides in Karachi. The NIA charge sheet also suggests Dawood and in fact his associates control Karachi airport in Pakistan. The 65-year-old fugitive, long wanted by Indian authorities, has been managing to elude law enforcement agencies globally. Interestingly, many enemies of India who have been seeking refuge in safe havens across the world are finding that they are no longer secure, with many anti-India elements being assassinated by unknown hitmen or individuals in the recent past. Let's take a look. Lashkar-e-Taiba's Rayaz Ahmed was shot dead in a mosque during Friday prayers in September this year. Hizbul Mujahideen commander Bashir Ahmed Pir alias Imtiaz Alam was killed by unknown gunmen outside a shop in Rawalpindi in February. Khalistani separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar shot dead in the parking lot of a Gurudwara in Canada in June. Shahid Latif of Jaish-e-Mohammed was also killed in Pakistan in a mosque complex in October. Pakistan's ISI Lal Mohammad was killed in Nepal outside his hideout in September. Khalistan Commando Force Chief Paramjeet Singh Panjwar, a wanted terrorist in India, was shot dead by unidentified gunmen while he was out on a morning walk near his residence in Pakistan's Lahore. Moving on now, the Indian Meteorological Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall over Tamil Nadu and Kerala during the next 2 to 3 days. As per IMD Chennai, heavy to very heavy rain is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Thoothukudi, Ramanathapuram, Pudukkottai and Shiv Ganga districts of Tamil Nadu, while heavy rain is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli, Thanjavur, Tirunavur, Nagapattinam, Madurai, among other districts of Tamil Nadu and Karikal area. On Sunday, several districts of South Tamil Nadu witnessed severe rainfall, leading to a flood-like situation and waterlogging. Amid heavy rainfall, surplus water was released from, Perunjani and Papanasam dams, while some major roads in Kanyakumari district were flooded. To ensure the people were informed, alert messages were sent to over 2 lakh local people. Tamil Nadu government declared holiday for all schools, colleges, private institutions, banks and financial institutions in Tirunelveli, Thoothukudi and Kanyakumari and Tenkasai districts on 18th of December following heavy rainfall. Amid heavy rainfall, surplus water has been released from Pechiparai, Perunjani and Papanasam dams, while some major roads in Kanyakumari continue to remain flooded. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi used an AI translation tool called Bhashini during his address at the Kashi Tamil Sangamam 2.0 inauguration in Varanasi. This tool translated PM's speech for the Tamil-speaking audience, underscoring the government's commitment to linguistic inclusivity. Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the Kashi Tamil Sangamam and flagged off a Kashi-Kanyakumari train, contributing to the Ek Bharat, Shreshth Bharat spirit under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. While acknowledging the technology, Prime Minister said today new technology through artificial intelligence is making communication easier.
हर हर महादेव। वणक्कम काशी, वणक्कम तमिलनाडु। Those who are coming from Tamil Nadu, I request them to use your earphone. First time using AI technology. मेरे परिवारजनों, तमिलनाडु से काशी आने का मतलब है महादेव के एक घर से उनके दूसरे घर आना। तमिलनाडु से काशी आने का मतलब है मदुरई मीनाक्षी के यहां से काशी विशालाक्षी के यहां आना। इसलिए तमिलनाडु और काशी वासियों के बीच हृदय में जो प्रेम है, जो संबंध है, वो अलग भी है और अद्वितीय भी है। मुझे विश्वास है काशी के लोग आप सभी की सेवा में कोई कमी नहीं छोड़ रहे होंगे। आप जब यहां से जाएंगे तो बाबा विश्वनाथ के आशीर्वाद के साथ साथ काशी का स्वाद, काशी की संस्कृति और काशी की स्मृतियां भी ले जाएंगे। आज यहां आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के माध्यम से टेक्नोलॉजी का नया प्रयोग भी हुआ है। ये एक नई शुरुआत हुई है और उम्मीद है इससे आप तक मेरी बात पहुंचना और आसान हुआ है।
The police have arrested 12 people in the Belagavi assault case of a tribal woman and launched a manhunt to nab others. The Karnataka government on Sunday ordered the police's criminal investigation department to probe the incident. The woman was stripped, paraded naked and tied to a pole, assaulted in Belagavi after her son eloped with a girl in this district. The High Court has restricted people from visiting the woman as she is suffering from severe trauma. The state government has allocated 2 acres of land to the victim under the land ownership scheme by the Karnataka Maharishi Valmiki Scheduled Tribes Development Corporation. 12 people so far have been arrested in this horrific case. Meanwhile, a 3-year-old girl who was playing outside an apartment complex in Bengaluru was run over by a car. The vehicle was coming out of the parking lot and ran over the child who was playing on the road. The toddler sustained injuries on her right arm, shoulder and limbs. The video showed her still moving when the car left, but she died later in the hospital. The police, in its course of investigation, got the footage of the incident from a CCTV camera that was placed opposite to the apartment. Police said that the car owner has been identified. Investigation is currently on to ascertain who was driving the car at that point of time. The police have recovered CCTV footage of the incident and are currently looking into it, trying to figure out as to who was driving the car at that point of time, which moved down a 3-year-old kid who was playing outside an apartment complex in Bengaluru. Switching our focus to some of the stories from the international front now, the Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump addressed the issue of undocumented immigrants during a campaign event in New Hampshire. Trump, known for his tough stance on immigration, expressed concerns about the impact of migrant crossings at the US-Mexico border, which had reached new heights in September. In his speech, Trump reiterated his promise to address both illegal and legal immigration if re-elected for a second term. During the rally in Durham, Trump used controversial language, stating that undocumented immigrants were poisoning the blood of our country. This choice of words has previously faced criticism for being perceived as xenophobic and reminiscent of Nazi rhetoric. It's worth noting that Trump had previously employed the same poisoning the blood phrase during an interview with the National Plus, a right-leaning website which was published in late September. In both instances, Trump's comments drew attention and debate regarding the language used in discussions about immigration policy.
You know, I think the real number is 15, 16 million people into our country. When they do that, we got a lot of work to do. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about, but all over the world. They're coming into our country from Africa, from Asia, all over the world. They're pouring into our country. Nobody's even looking at them. They just come in.
Months before the 2024 election, recent polls suggest former President Donald Trump leads President Joe Biden in key swing states such as Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Notably, Biden won these states in 2020 and Trump must flip some to secure victory. Despite Trump's apparent advantage, Biden faces a challenging task to enhance his standing. A CNN poll shows Trump leading by 5 points in Georgia, a state Biden won in 2020. Another poll indicates Biden's policies are perceived negatively in Georgia and Michigan, with concerns about economic conditions. Meanwhile, Trump, maintaining strong GOP support, faces legal challenges without a significant drop in popularity. We now step into a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Yes, the scale of the attack surprised us.
When you get a series of alerts, 16 intelligence alerts, if Maharashtra government at that time had alerted the Coast Guard and the Navy, this 2611 would not have happened at all.
And one of the details they had planned was to use these dhagas to mislead the investigative agencies.
All this was to be presented as a Hindu terror. So it was a Pakistan operation. The LET was the front end.
As the attacks were on, it was clear that they were planned and launched from Pakistani territory.
For all of those victims of terror that was exported from Pakistan over the years, including but not limited to 2611.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
ChatGPT,
It can generate codes and human-like responses through text, write stories, and do a lot more.
I work in a newsroom with anchors, researchers and scriptwriters, graphic artists, producers, video editors, camera crew. But does a newsroom really need them today?
All of us have to think about unique and distinctive value addition that cannot be automated or repeated or replaced by a machine.
ChatGPT may kill many companies. A human has to be in the loop with an ability to control this.
Dark Side of the Boom. Streaming now.
The scale of the attack was something that we were surprised at. David Hadley was a double agent. The Americans did not want him to be fully exposed, so all that he probably shared with the Americans was not shared with us in terms of intelligence. If we had that, I'm sure that we would have been able to deal with the situation far better.
This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News 9+. Download now.
Welcome back. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, addressing a political event in Rome on the 16th of December, emphasized his commitment to advocating for global reforms in the asylum system. He expressed concerns about the potential overwhelming impact of a growing number of refugees on parts of Europe. Sunak warned that hostile powers could exploit illegal migration as a weapon to destabilize societies. Earlier in the month, Sunak faced a leadership challenge but secured a parliamentary vote on the emergency bill related to his plan to send asylum seekers to Rwanda, overcoming opposition from some lawmakers within his party. Take a listen.
Criminal gangs will find ever cheaper ways to ply their evil trade. They will exploit our humanity, and they think nothing of putting people's lives at risk when they put them in these boats at sea. And our enemies will also see that we are unable to deal with this, and then they will so increasingly use migration as a weapon, deliberately driving people to our shores to try to destabilize our societies. So if we do not tackle this problem, the numbers will only grow. It will overwhelm our countries and our capacity to help those who actually need our help the most.
Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria are set to finalize a joint agreement in January to address the issue of floating mines in the Black Sea resulting from the conflict in Ukraine. The three NATO allies engaged in months of discussion following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The trilateral initiative involving Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria aims to clear the mines. The signing ceremony is scheduled for the 11th of January in Istanbul. Turkish Defense Minister Güler highlighted the persistent threat, noting that mines from Ukrainian and Russian ports can drift to Turkey's straits due to currents. Turkey's mine-clearing vessels will conduct continuous patrols up to Romania's sea borders.
Karadeniz'deki mayın tehlikesine karşı ülkemiz öncülüğünde başlatılan üçlü girişim kapsamında Türkiye, Bulgaristan ve Romanya heyetlerinin yer aldığı Karadeniz Mayın Karşı Tedbirleri Görev Grubu toplantısının 3. turunu 22-23 Kasım'da Bakanlığımız ev sahipliğinde gerçekleştirdik. Ayrıca 11 Ocak 2024 tarihinde 3 ülkenin savunma bakanlarının katılımı ile İstanbul'da imza töreninin yapılmasını da planlıyoruz.
On the 15th of December, China identified 7 cases of the COVID subvariant JN1, with officials stating its current prevalence is very low. While not ruling out its potential dominance, factors like imported cases were cited. JN1 first appeared in Kerala, India on the 13th of December, raising concerns about the state's rising COVID cases. The Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium confirmed its presence. In the United States, the CDC estimates JN1 now represents over 1/5 of all cases with potential increased transmissibility. Though severity remains uncertain, reported symptoms include disabling fatigue and respiratory issues. The CDC suggests heightened transmission risk during winter months. The JN1 variant of COVID is acknowledged as a lineage of Omicron, specifically BA2.2.86 or Pirola, according to reports. Now, the World Health Organization recognizes it as a notable descendant lineage of Omicron, suggesting potential increased transmissibility or ability to evade immunity. BA.2.86 descendants have been reported in various countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Iceland, Spain, Portugal, and the Netherlands, with directions in 38 countries, including India. It is implicated in recent surges in hospitalizations globally. President Joe Biden was safe on Sunday night after a car collided with a motorcade SUV that was part of the president's security detail. Biden and First Lady Jill Biden had just left his campaign headquarters when the collision occurred. Jill Biden was also safe following the incident. The Bidens had emerged from the Biden-Harris 2024 headquarters in rainy downtown Wilmington after having a meal with members of his re-election team at the time of the incident. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla Motors, shared his perspective on oil and natural gas, stating on the 16th of December that they should not be demonized in medium term. Now, this comes in the wake of the COP28 agreement, where representatives from nearly 200 countries agreed to initiate reductions in global fossil fuel consumption, marking a significant step towards addressing climate change and signaling a gradual shift away from the era of oil. Musk voiced his belief that the alarm sound surrounding climate change is exaggerated in the short term. Listen in.
I don't think we should demonize oil and gas. I think we should say, look, that is obviously necessary in the short term and the medium term too. And it'll take several decades to become sustainable. So I think if we just, without getting too worried about it, seek to have a sustainable energy future gradually, then that's what will happen.
Now, Hong Kong is all set for a significant national security trial involving prominent China critic Jimmy Lai. Tight security measures surround the proceedings as the pro-democracy activist faces charges of colluding with foreign forces, notably the United States. Well, that's all we have in this edition of the Bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. You have a great day ahead. This is me, Neha, signing off.
It was my 14th birthday.
On birthday, daughter waits for missing father.
He was carrying a cake for his daughter.
49-year-old